せーのでもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心足がすにょもともと
All right, we're back with part 3 of the crossover. This is the Flash episode. I'm going to start off by saying that there will be heavy spoilers. I'm also going to say that, again, as with the other episodes, if there are things that we neglected to mention that you thought were important or that you just want to discuss, make sure to leave that information in the comments and we'll be more than happy to discuss it with you. All right, so we pick up with all of our heroes now on Earth X. Well, 95% of our heroes on Earth X, and they're in a concentration camp. They're seeing everybody in the identifications with the stars and
triangles.
The triangles and what it means and the crimes that they've committed. And then that's when they actually bump into the Ray, and he has one that's colored purple because he loves somebody who pink. And that was because he's gay and in love with a man. And they have power dampeners on. We never figured out why Sarah and yes, we did. They have power dampeners on to actually stop them from using their power, so Barry can't phase through and all this and that. So then we meet Quentin Lance on Earth X, and he is a higher up in the hierarchy for, the Nazis or whatever. He sees his daughter and he's like, oh yeah, I had a daughter, but I had to kill her because she was bisexual. And they try to not assassinate them, but they do like a firing squad on them. But as they do the firing squad, Captain Cold on this Earth shows up to save them. And going back to my previous point, the reason why everybody had on the power dampeners, including Sarah and Alex, even though they didn't have powers, because they also had like an electrical charge in them. So when they tried to get away, then they let that go and everybody got electrocuted. All right, so you know what? I will say that even though most people enjoy Captain Cold, and don't get me wrong, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed this iteration of Captain Cold the best because he had that dry humor, but then he also had a comedic humor to him
as well,
that we don't normally see when he was just Captain Cold on Legends. Okay.
So Earth One's version.
Yeah, the Earth One version. Yeah. We also meet Wynn here, who is actually the leader of the Freedom Fighters, and that's where Captain Cole, aka Leo, takes all of our heroes. If you are not familiar, on Earth X they have their Freedom Fighters, and those are the heroes that are coming together to pretty much band against the Nazis and stop them from their plans of world domination. Okay, so Wynn is the general there, and they have set in motion a plan that's going to stop them from basically taking world domination. And the problem with that plan, though, is that's also how our Earth 1 heroes can get back to Earth 1. Okay, so with that being said, Alex pleads with him to let them have that time to try to get back, and he says okay, but they only have a certain amount of time to do it. Feel free to jump in whenever you want to add something to it. With that being said, back on Earth 1, Iris and Felicity are in the time vault, and they're trying to stop Eobard from operating on Kara and help her escape, which they're successful in shutting down the power. They get her gone, but Metallo's there, and so that basically ends their plan. But they had a pretty good plan of getting things done. They were trying to get the superheroes out that are captured in the what's it called?
I don't know the term for it, but you're talking about
the particle accelerator.
And
they were stuck in the particle accelerator prison part. But what happens there is because they try to get him out, but they're not able to. I forgot the reason why they couldn't. Something happened with like the way it was coded. So then they sent something off to the Legends so that the Legends can actually come and help them. Okay. In the meantime, back on Earth X, Wynn contacts them and lets them know, look, at the end of the day, I changed my mind. I'm not going to give you the time that you need, and I'm sending something to get rid of it. That something ends up being Red Tornado. Yes. Okay. Thank you for the Red Tornado. It was so much better than the one they did in Supergirl. He was on point. The CGI was on point. So the Ray and the Flash actually go against Red Tornado. That was all of that. I was 100% there for that. What else can be said? Oh, okay. So, as we've known since the beginning of season 3 that Victor Garber was leaving Legends. Okay. Once the baby came about, you guys, if you listen to our podcast, you know that I've been on this tip where I feel like they were just going to phase him out. He was going to be gone by the mid-season finale, not dead, but just kind of walking away. However, with this crossover, that really changed the way things happened, because they started really getting to these deep, and you can see from like maybe episode 2, where they start having these deep conversations, and I love you like a son, and I love you like a dad, and all this kind of stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that continues. Yeah. And that continues. So where we're going to end this is Victor Garber, aka Martin Stein, decides not to transform to become Firestorm, because they're locked down like in the area where they need to go through the portal. And he's like, okay, you do this part and I'll do this part. Okay. Unfortunately, he ends up getting hurt, badly shot up, and it ends like that. And then the agony that you see on Jack's face when he's like trying to tell him just to stop. It was just crazy. So we're gonna end on this sour note, and we're gonna come back with part 4. And then we will go from there. So you guys make sure to share the video, leave your comments below, and as always, stay geeky.